In Commander, red usually has a reputation of being the not-so-good color of the format, and to be honest, it's kind of true. Red has a very difficult time dealing enough damage in formats with multiple players, or even if your opponent starts the game with 30 life. But with the rise of the format Tiny Leaders, red may have a shot of actually being great. Feldon with Third Path is an awesome legend from the Commander 2014 set. He has a very interesting ability and has been described as a mini Kiki-Jiki, but how does he perform? Before we go any further, why don't we take a closer look at his card. Feldon is a 1-red 2/3 human artificer that says 2 red tap. Put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of target creature card in your graveyard, except it's an artifact in addition to its other types. It gains haste and sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. So his ability allows him to work as a toolbox of sorts. Imperial Recruiter, Tuktuk the Explorer, and Goblin Sharpshooter are just a few of the cards you can take advantage of. The game plan for Feldon is pretty straightforward. You want to deal as much damage as you can during the first few turns, making Goblin Guide, Monastery Swiftspear, and Keldon Maurauders your best friends. During testing, I found it was pretty hard to outright kill your opponent before they could stabilize, but by turning into a slightly controlling deck in the mid-game, you're able to keep the board clear and take advantage of Feldon's powerful ability, reanimating cards like Ball Lightning and Goblin Rabblemaster. But while I was building the deck, my first inclination was that it was going to be pretty difficult to get creature spells into your yard for Feldon to use later in the game, but as I played, I discovered it wasn't that much of an issue. You have access to so many creatures that have the sacrifice at the end of turn clause that you don't have to worry. Feldon's strong suit is no question in dealing loads of damage during the first few turns, but where he falls short is post-board. Mono red almost always will win game 1, but if your opponent's prepared with a decent sideboard to counteract your game plan, things may not pan out for you. Core Firewalker, Burnt and Forge Tenor, and Life Gain in general are all very strong against mono red and are sometimes too much to overcome. While testing the deck, I found that the most important cards you have in your post-board matches are your damage over time spells, so things like Eidolon of the Great Revel or Sulfuric Vortex are both cards that you absolutely need in order to rack up as much damage as you can and give you the edge you need to win. There are a bunch of different ways you can experiment with Feldon. I chose a more mid-range build, but a hyper-aggressive or a control deck could be possible. He's just so versatile. Either way, if you want some inspiration for your own Feldon Tiny Leaders deck, you can go ahead and check out my deck in the description box down below. Super pleased with how it's turned out, so proxy it up and give it a try. For more information on Tiny Leaders, check out the links in the description box down below. And before you leave, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep shuffling, Magic players.